Evening, everybody. Lovely to see you, familiar faces. If you can, it would be great for you to turn on your cameras this evening as you all come into the room. I'm excited about this evening. And I thought no one was going to show up. We was like, oh my goodness, when we come to school, we need their cameras on, they don't show up. It's so lovely to see you. Long time, how are you? And then she disappeared. Brilliant. I'm going to just wait a few minutes. And as I say, if there are people in the room, I encourage them to put on their cameras so that we can have it's going to be an interactive evening, which I'm quite excited about. Hello, Claire. Which Alex that is. Erica and Diane. It's just a book, which is fab. I'm happy to work with them all.
Hello.
Hello, Vicky, how are you? Let's hear your voice.
Hello.
How are you, Lada? So I'm going to start welcoming everyone this evening. Can everyone hear me? Lovely to see new faces in the community. Lovely to see people who I haven't seen for ages. People's forgotten how to use Zoom. All those things of the healing course.
Cindy, so you're a bit crackly. I don't know if you are for anyone else.
Am I for everyone else?
Yes, actually.
Oh, it's just me then.
It may be the headphones.
No.
No, I haven't got headphones in. All right,
No,
okay.
I think I need headphones. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. My computer has been a bit slow today. Let me just test.
That's better. That's better. That's gone.
Speak and pause. Can you hear a replay? Much better. Brilliant. Good evening and welcome to tonight, the role of a healer in a changing world. And tonight is very much going to be an experimental evening because we normally do these master classes and we sit as the experts and we talk, and you get to put some questions in the chat, etc. And tonight's really for us to explore together around what is a healer, and really we're going to do a beautiful opening meditation, and then after the meditation I'm going to invite you into an inquiry around healers, and those who are healers can observe themselves. Those of you who are studying can still observe them. And those of you who are new can actually think about when they go for healing or what they think about healing. So that's really going to be what we're going to do tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy Holmes. I am the director of the School of Intuition and Healing. I'm a mentor, a healer, a coach, a tutor, and a director of a school. My true passion in life, and the reason why I do what I do, is I love observing transformation in individuals. So whether it be through psychic development or any of the courses that we do at the school, for me, it's not more about the craft, it's about the transformation of the individual as they learn these ancient skills. And that's what warms my heart and why I show up and why we have a school and why we continue doing the work that we do. And I love it, to be honest. But as we know, in this rapidly changing world, we're seeing things that are happening fast around us. It's really important that, for me, people find community, but also how do we come into our hearts, how do we ground, how do we embody, and how do we stay steady? So the first thing I'd love to do is start with an opening meditation and a healing meditation where we will receive healing for ourselves. Think of somebody that you know that needs healing, that you can send healing out to, that would be happy to receive it. And then lastly, we're going to send healing to those troubled places in the world. And we're going to do it from the heart space. And I'm really going to invite you to send it to all the people involved. Healing is not just for victims. Healing is for perpetrators, and healing is for rescuers. It is for all those combinations of people. So how do we just open our hearts and connect and just send healing, sometimes against our bias, but really in the heart space. So just really connecting to the heart, because our world needs healing. No matter where they come from or what they are or what the sides are, as healers, our most important role, I believe, is being able to come into the heart space and channel healing for all of humanity. So we're going to try and achieve that in the meditation we do. If you find it difficult, that's okay. It's about just having a positive thought. And if you're finding that you are and you want to send it to specific people, that's fine. But if you can just really just soften that heart and send that healing, and maybe even think about someone who's challenging you at the moment, and possibly an invitation of sending them healing from the heart. Because that in this day and age is really what will shift our species. So, and as I said, we were going to be interactive, and already I'm taking the throne and the loudspeaker, but let's do the meditation. So just taking a deep breath in and breathing out and congratulating yourself for showing up. And really just take this time to ground into your body. Just get a sense of that spirit that incarnated at this extraordinary time of our species. Just allowing that spirit to arrive in your body. And then let your soles of your feet connect with the earth. Allow them to sink into that beautiful, rich earth. Sink into the mother energy. The mother energy that is holding. Just let them sink past the silt, past the mud, past the clay, and deep into the ground. And then let those roots from the soles of your feet and the base of your spine go down, 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 down through all the layers and connect with the heart of Mother Earth. And just feel her beautiful energy starting to come up, 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 up through the layers of the earth, up through the water, up through the mud, up through the rocks, up through the crystals. She knows what to do. She knows how to heal. And this beautiful energy comes up and flows around us. Feel that beautiful feminine mother energy, that beautiful matriarchal energy, holding us steady, holding us grounded, and just flowing all the way through our energy. This is the energy that receives. She is the receiving energy. And so we center in our heart, being held by Mother Earth. And from there, we connect up to the Father energy through the soul sun or the soul star. And we connect to that beautiful Father energy, the sacred masculine, the fire and the air, and we just let that beautiful energy come down and be received by the feminine, allowing our energy to be in perfect harmony in the heart. The heart is the place of balance. It's the place of the center of the upper and the lower, the light and the dark, the patriarchy and the matriarch, and we just hold the divine energy in the heart. And the heart is the space where we are able to channel healing. And with that, we surround ourselves with the beautiful source energy that we are going to connect to shortly. We are just going to connect into that beautiful energy of source. So check your grounding. Feel your upper energies open, center in your heart, feel grounded, and from the center of your heart, you're going to go up to the highest point of healing light that you can access, and allow this healing light to come down, 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 down through your crown, down into your heart space. And just feel your heart receiving that beautiful healing energy. This energy is channeled. It is not your energy. It is the energy of divine healing. And with that, allow that healing to come through and channel into your arms and into your hands. And just now bring your hands together, or just allow that healing energy to be between the hands or just around you, but just get a sense of that healing energy and then channel that healing energy wherever it is that you need healing. And maybe it's an energy center, maybe it's a chakra, maybe it's a physical ailment, but I just invite you to allow that healing energy to go wherever it is you need it right now. Let it flow in and around you, and just feel that heightened vibration coming through the palms of your hands. This is healing energy. And as you receive the healing, I'd invite you to visualize all of us standing in a beautiful field, in a circle. Just visualize yourself in a circle of beings as we place ourselves in this beautiful bubble of protection in the field. And we just know that we can now connect in our heart space. And as we visualize everyone on this call, we just allow that healing energy to go from our right, and we then receive in our left. And we just allow that energy to circle around each and every one who is on this call. Just get a sense of the energy flowing, receiving in the left, giving in the right. And there's this beautiful healing energy. And then there is this beautiful pillar of light, of healing, coming from the earth and coming from the source of all creation. And our hearts open and send healing energy into this beautiful pillar of light. And with that pillar of light, we just envisioned those who we know that need healing. Maybe you want to say their name out, or just in your mind say their name and place them in this beautiful healing energy. And then anyone who's challenging you at this time, or you have a negative charge with in your life, place them in this healing energy. And now I would like you to think about your city that you are in. We are all in different cities all over the world. Place your city into this healing light and just allow the plants, the animals, the humans, the leaders to be placed in this healing light and allow them to receive this beautiful healing energy we have created. And then from your cities, allow that energy to go into the whole of your country. And then allow that energy to move into the whole of the continent that you are living in. Just allowing the healing for the plants, the animals, the humans, the victims and the perpetrators, the leaders, the opposition leaders. And then just focus on areas that are close to your heart, or communities that are close to your heart. Sending healers to healing to both sides of those areas, but also to the leaders, to the armies. Just allowing this heightened vibration to raise wherever it goes. And just holding that vibration. And slowly we start seeing the pillar of light between us, going back into the earth, going back to source, its vibration still around us. We can feel the healing light that is ignited in each and every one of us. And we just feel that continuing as we start bringing our focus back into the call and back, bringing yourself back, checking your grounding, coming back. That's it, having a stretch, wriggling your feet and toes, and when you're ready, you can just come back into the core, feeling healed and relaxed. How are we doing, everybody? Did we all enjoy that? Yeah? Good. I think we all needed that to just come into our heart space. So as I said tonight, for those who missed it, we're going to talk about what is healing really, and then really an invitation to explore healing and what it is and how we relate to it, whether we're looking for a healer or if we're thinking about being a healer, but just really looking at these different questions, which I will share in the breakout rooms. But let's just talk about what healing is. So for me, healing is a way of life, and it's not something we do when we get into the healing room. I believe it's kind words. I believe healing is about helping others. I believe it's connecting with others in a way that is kind. It's not just when you're in the healing room, I'm standing and I'm channeling healing. It's really about being that in your being as often as you can and as much as you can, because we all have shadows and we all have bad days. But just the connection, helping people, stopping, taking the time, I've recently been taking the time, I'm living in London, just to have conversations, and because no one talks to anyone in London. I mean, everyone walks around like this. I mean, not even the dogs talk to you, and I talk to the dogs. So, but really just connecting and having a conversation with greeting, especially elderly people, saying, "Hey, how are you? Isn't it nice the sun's shining today?" And they look at you and then, "Oh, yes, you've actually made conversation." And really just doing that, A, because culturally I'm used to doing that, but also B, because it kind of lifts my heart as well. It connects me, and actually it's not about them, it's about me just having a friendly conversation. And that for me is healing, or helping somebody. Just helping someone is really for me that. I want to talk about the fact that healing is not something that we give another person. Healing is igniting the innate intelligence of another to heal, to ignite their healing. We don't do healing to somebody, we channel healing in order to ignite their healing. So I think often we get it, and this will go into the conversation, and I'd really love you to unpack your experiences in the breakout rooms around healing and kind of what you've experienced with different things, or maybe what your perception of healing is as a client. Again, it's the facilitation. A healer's there. If you're going to a healer to fix you, and I'd like you to unpack that in your breakout rooms. Are we going to be fixed, or are we going to empower ourselves? So in saying that, I just also want to talk about everything is energy, and we connect to the energy. Energy follows thoughts. So if we are connecting to healing energy, we can channel beautiful healing. We can channel positive energy. We can channel negative energy. When energy gets stuck, we get blocks and diseases. And that's where channeling healing energy can shift and move those. Maybe some of you have some different ideas about that, and we can come back and talk about it. So if everyone's up for it, I'm not sure about Shaz and Erica and Alex and Oletha and Erissa and Kana. I'm hoping that you are going to have voices, but I will make sure that I spread them out. Can everyone just give me a couple of minutes while I create the breakout rooms? And I'm going to put, so you can, these will be in the chat. Let me put the questions in the chat so you can have a look at those and read those, and then I'm going to create the breakout rooms. I'm just going to do them myself so I can split them with some of our community that knows us well and can help lead the groups or help organize in the groups or answer any questions. But my computer is just very jumpy today. Don't know why. Well, I do. Now you've all gone. Right. You know what's happened? I need to do half and half. There are too many words. That's why it's giving me problems. Sorry, everyone. Bear with me. There's the first set of 3 questions. And then I'm going to give you, just have a look at those, the next 3. Stephanie, did those come out clearly?
Yes,
Perfect.
we have the first 3.
And then here is the next 3. And rather than us do all the talking, meet some people, you're going to go into those groups. But now I'm going to give you the second 3. You can have a look at. And then you can go introduce yourselves, and then those are the second three. Good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so just familiar yourselves, have a little think about it. If I did, I'd have some nice music for you, but I didn't organize that. So just play some nice music in your own head. So, everyone there, we've got 4 breakout rooms. You can go into your rooms, introduce yourself. I'm going to give you 20 minutes in the rooms. So really, if anyone wants to, the clock will be there. Introduce yourselves, unpack these questions. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong, but we then can come back and feed back into the group and just talk about the roles of these healers. Just think about it. Think about what it is. And as I say, nothing's right, nothing wrong. Is there any questions before you go into the breakout rooms? Is everyone good with that? Yeah? Excellent. How did we do? Did we have a good conversation?
Yes, it was very good.
Excellent. I'm really pleased to hear that. Much better than me doing all the talking. Oh, you'll get to know me more. You'll get to know me better. I do a lot of talking all the time.
Thanks for allowing us to share space with each other too. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm pleased you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's important we connect. I think we spend too much online, time online not connecting. So I thought I'd try something different tonight. We'll just wait for everyone else to come back. Welcome back, everybody. How did we all get on? Was that fun? Yeah? Connecting with different people from all over the world. So really, I'd just like to get some feedback. We don't need to go into too much detail on each one, but I'm just curious to know how you got on and if we could just shape some of these questions. And if we go to the first one, kind of who would like to share about service and boundaries? What is self-sacrifice and what is self-care? Who wants to share? I think Claire, oh, there we go.
I think Ayesha had just an experience about one of her clients about that.
Aisha, do you want to share with the group, please?
Okay, so the Claire asked, has it ever happened to you that your higher self have not allowed you to do the healing? So that's brought me to a situation. I mean, I'm very new to this healing. That after I'm doing a healing of a lady who lost her husband. She's very young, beautiful lady with 2 beautiful kids. So I did 3 sessions with her. And then she got like busy, and she would keep me in a loop. I'll do it. Tomorrow I'll go. So I said, you know what? I'm done with her. I have my course requirement done, and that's it. And that's when it happened 3 times. My higher self said, no, you have to do it. You have to reach out to her because she's in a light. She told me that she's in a fight with the God. But every time I do her healing, I saw her, the God that she worships, I think is Ganesh or someone, and I would see the shape, and I told her that I see this figure, and she said, yeah, but I'm not praying, Aisha. Don't ask me to pray. And I said, okay, but so I've done 3 sessions, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. But every time I get this message, I have to do it. I have to reach out to her. So I said, okay, that's okay.
That's when spirit is guiding you outside of a possible boundary. That's a really curious situation, but clearly she needed some form of connection to source. If she had abandoned her God as such, she needed some form of energetic connection to support her. So that's great that you honored the compassion and the understanding. And I think more in this world today, I think we need to have boundaries but we also really need to listen to the heart and the inner spirit, but in a way that you're not self-sacrificing. Yeah. So we need to find that balance. And we need to find, but as we come more into the fifth dimension and into the heart space, I think those boundaries are going to need to be more flexible, but it's going to be but the self-care needs to be there. So thank you for bringing that example. I think it's a beautiful example of being boundaried, but also listening to your intuition and being guided. And like, the humanness is they've let me down, they're all over the place. I'm going to get a new client, right? Because I need to hand in my homework on time.
True.
Because I'm asking, students to hand in their homework on time. So I think it's curious. I think it's very curious that that is happening, and I think it's the shift of being boundary, but being very heart space. So I think that is a very good example of that. What did you guys come up with? I'm curious around. Did anyone have anything else around the topic of sort of at cost to yourself? Because I think there's a difference between. Erica has something to say. Unmute yourself, Erica.
So, disclaimer, I haven't even had my first lecture yet. So I'm signed up as a student. I haven't even had a lecture yet or a workshop. So, but I just out of my own life experience, I have now been dealing with something, and that has been incredibly challenging. And I want to just echo what you said just now, that I have found that the Instagram answers of, these are the boundaries, and when that boundary is crossed, you say no, and that is not the right. It's very immature, and the answers are found in the heart. That to be with it, and that one has to listen here, and not to the voices out there that tell you no, that's not right. You need to now draw a line. You have to listen here. That has been my experience in a long journey of struggle.
Mm-hmm. And I think that is, but I'm still going to come back to that, being aware of when you are losing yourself within that. And I think that's where one needs to be really careful around, even not healing, even let's open this conversation to relationships that are challenging. And when you are giving of yourself that is not serving of you, then a boundary needs to come. But how do we bring that into the heart and find compassion so that boundary, that softening that boundary can be supportive and compassionate? And I think there are the rigid boundaries, and then there are very soft boundaries, but your self-care and your well-being is also really important.
Can I say another thing, Cindy? I'm really sorry for saying so much, but for me personally, that has been a double journey, because I've been so challenged about my attitude to myself, how I value or don't value myself. So I have been having to learn that in very hard ways, and that is so important. I think to actually that can help or break this whole decision making if one hasn't fixed that or worked on that at least. I think that for me is an ongoing journey, but it's definitely a make or break aspect, that how one's value of oneself. Okay.
And that's because as a healer, we can't be perfect, but the idea is to be as whole as possible. And we talk about the wounded healer. We talk about, the journey of healing your own wounds, and that comes onto the emotions. And I'm jumping all over the place, but we're discussing these questions. If we can not respond from our woundedness, and we can respond from the heart when we are holding the space for a client, and being in that space and not either triggered or project. Because often in this healing space, healers will project, like tell you, oh, in my story, and all of a sudden it becomes about their story, about the alcoholic they know or the this that they know, rather than holding that space for you. So there's a discernment around holding that space from emotions. And if you are attending healing and it's all about the healer, question that. And if you find yourself doing that while being a healer, then question yourself. It's a dance between when you share an experience that is valuable or when you take over their issue. And so one needs to be, even when we teach, we need to be careful of holding that space, not projecting or judging or overcompensating. So healing is about the heart. And Stephanie's nodding because as we go to healers or as we are seeing clients or as we deal, where is that space? And we really work towards, again, being in that alignment and in the heart space. And I think that, you know, the authority and the trust, I'm curious to know what came up around the, you know, the authority and the trust of your healer or for healers. Anybody like to share? Come on, Bibi.
We didn't discuss that part, but
What
when
was
it comes, yeah,
interesting for you?
for me, what I discussed for me is what I also realized actually today. I remember you once told us to react from our scars instead of from our wounds. And for me, it means taking that solar plexus problem into the heart space. Yeah. And I'm sitting with a challenging situation at this stage, and I really thought that I've dealt with this wound as a little childhood thing, and I realized today actually that obviously I didn't deal with everything, and then I realized that I acted from my wound, and this guy is really triggering me, and I lost my cool completely, and I'm struggling with how to. I mean, I know. We've been through this course. You've taught us so much. Spirit has taught us so much, and here I sit with, I'm just reacting like I haven't heard anything before. But that's what I said to the other ladies also now is, we bounce back easier each time. Yeah. So this is part of the layers that we work through, and it's not like, oh my gosh, I've never worked through this and I'm so bad, and it's not about that. It's about the realization of, geez, like, okay, I thought I've dealt with this before. Okay, now the awareness that I haven't dealt with that part of that wounded child yet is much easier, and taking it from the solar plexus into the heart space, and I mean, working with your guides, working with spirit, and say, okay, but I can still feel love for this guy, even though he triggered my wound, and we need catalysts in our lives. Yeah. I mean, as healers, how are we going to work with a client if we don't understand it ourselves? That's for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why we become healers, because we heal certain things and then we want to be able to support others doing that. I really believe that's the role of the healer, is that we go through so much and then we get to a place we want to hold space, and healing is one of the ways that we can hold space. But as the healer, we need to be careful that we aren't triggered by that. And I don't, and people will come to us that trigger us. People will come to us that mirror us. And we know when we're having a problem, all the clients arrive with the same problem. Yes. And that happens in your case studies. Rachel, hi.
Hi, I just wanted to share some from I've been working with different holistic health practitioners. So I see it from a seeker's point of view. Yeah. I've seen so many different practitioners and healers. So it really resonates what you're talking about. Like, I know if I've worked with some in the past where they do project that they think that they know this is the best thing for me. They give me the advice, but then I will, as the as the seeker, the client will go away and feel like, I don't feel like I've been listened, that like they've dismissed what I'm feeling because they know what is best for me. Because even if I tell them what I feel in my body, it's very real to me, but they might not think they might dismiss it. So as a client, I just feel like I haven't been listened to. And so that's one thing that came up. And yeah, there have been some practitioners where they do project from their own wounds as well, and it's just put me off from going back to see them, because it's supposed to be space for me where I feel relaxed and calm, instead of feeling like I've just listened to someone else's traumatic experience.
And I know we're laughing, but it happens.
Yeah.
And this is about just keeping us in check and just having this conversation, because it does happen. So Rachel, thank you for sharing it from the other side, because I've been to healers too. And recently actually had a healing where I had needed just some chakra balancing and a holding space. I was going through something quite traumatic, and I called up somebody that I knew, and I said, can you just do chakra balancing? And that my energy's a little bit all over the space. I'm struggling to get in an alignment. And yes, it happens to me. I can't walk on water. My energy also responds to things that go wrong. So what happened was, the healer decided to dive into all my chakras and proceeded to tell me what was wrong. I knew what was wrong with my chakras. I was clear. I'd seen them in the meditation and thought, hell, I need some help with this before I arrive in this meeting. And proceeded to say to me, oh, and this is going on and that's going on. And when I said, really, I didn't want that. I just wanted you to balance. I don't need to know. They said, no, it's important you know. And I said, you're triggering me. And they said, well, actually, I don't mind triggering my clients. And I just lost it. I just said, stop right there, step away. And what was really interesting about that is the person was trying to impress me. They were a past student, and they were trying to show me what a good healer they were, and they went into their ego. And we've since sorted it out, but I was just like, no, I just need to be held. And sometimes people just need holding when they come for healing. They don't want to know that this is out of balance and that is crap, and there's some green gadgy stuff on the left side of their aura. They don't want that. They want to be held. They want to be in a beautiful, peaceful place. So see what your client wants. Don't think, I think they need this or I see this. If they come to you and they need holding, like your lady, where's Aisha? She's Aisha. Maybe that lady just needed holding in that space. You know, just igniting the healing energy within her. And that's what a true healer is. We don't need to push and pull our clients. And if a healer is pushing and pulling you in a healing session, question whether you need to go to another healer. Coaching, mentorship, various other things are different. But healing in its purity is holding space for the person's highest good. Yeah? Any questions about that? Erica, did you ask a question in the chat? Sorry.
You answered it, so I deleted it.
Oh, okay. Anybody else have some insights that you think the group would love to hear, or anything else? So we've talked about the ego. The responsibility of somebody healing. Whose responsibility is it? The clients, the healers? Stephanie?
Yeah, so in our group, we really had both as being responsible. You can, as a healer, you can bring, hold the space, facilitate, and so on. And at the same time, the seeker has to take responsibility for their own healing. They have to, be open up also to what's happening with them and so on. So it's a dance. You can bring the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So that was really clear from both those that consider themselves both more as a healer rather than a seeker, and the other way around.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that it's really it's a working with the healer is being there, being clear around what it is you're wanting and why you're there. And so, you know, some of, you know, so energy healing needs to be there for the highest good. The other one, did any of you have some interesting things to say about compassion versus pity? Oh, shame. Where are South Africans? Ach, shame. Oh, shame. Yeah? That, you know, there's compassion and then there's pity, because when you pity somebody, you're elevating yourself. Somebody's having a really difficult time. As a healer, we hold space for them. We don't pity them. Yeah? Because it's a co-creation. It's igniting the healing. Anything else that we just, I hope you all had good conversations. Claire, or is there anything else from your side and your group that you want to share that was interesting that everyone might want to know?
It was about being triggered and actually kind of when we have a client, it can be mirroring some of our past difficulties or things like that. So it's really I would say it's more about uplifting the person. But one of the things we've said was when giving some feedback, more asking questions. I think it helps not trying to put a label or trying to find an explanation. Just leave it in the open in the air, like, oh, if it's needed.
Yeah, as an inquiry.
Yeah.
Rather leave the inquiry, send them with
not trying to tick boxes, but more being like, yeah.
And that's what, for me, what true healing is. And I've had a bee in my bonnet recently about this, around, because we're seeing so much on social media. I can fix this. If you come to me, I'll do that. I'll teach you how to heal your money wounds, and be very discerning around that. We want to be following people who are heart-based, who are bringing us back to the heart. In my opinion, at this time, and it's my view, and if somebody else has another view, but be discerning. If you're being pushed or being harassed, the world is very overwhelming at the moment. There's a lot of information. There's a lot going on, and I'm just going to share with you before we close, and maybe if there are any other questions at the end, but there are a couple of things that I've been listening to, and what is really important at this time. Self-care is absolutely imperative at this time. Taking care of your physical, your emotional, your mental. Pause, stop, do what you can, get into nature, wherever, even if it's a short walk in the park, but really the self-care is important. The other thing is with all these fractured energies that are going on politically, socially, economically in the world, in the morning in the shower, check in with your own energy. Know your own energy. How am I feeling today? Do I have a headache? Are there any aches and pains? Have I got a tummy ache? Have I got period pain? Whatever that is, what is mine? And then during the day, if something, or how do I feel today? Am I a little bit grumpy today? Am I a little bit moody? Am I light? Just check in, because we do have grumpy days. We do have days where we're a little bit tipsy. We do have different kind of emotions. Check in with your emotions. And if your emotions change suddenly, or you get a pain suddenly, check if it's yours. Is this mine? Is this somebody else's? Because with all the information that is coming, we can easily pick up on other people's feelings and emotions. So really know your own energy. The other one is slow down. Where you can slow down, if you find yourself doing 10 things at once, what is important, what can slow down, what can wait? There is such a sense of urgency with everything at the moment. And actually, when you slow down, you get more done. I never knew that. It's a recent thing with me. The more I slow down, the more I get done. It's extraordinary. Try it. Stay steady. Don't have too many goals. There's been lots of information. You've got to dream this. You've got to envision this. You've got to set these goals. Just have a few that are achievable, that you're chipping away at, and don't be rigid. Soften. I just want to use that word often. Soften at the moment, and have sovereignty over your own energy. This is mine, that is yours. Energetic boundaries are the same as physical boundaries. So really ground into your body, listen to meditations that are talking about centering and being in your body, knowing your body somatically, just checking that you're there. Because I'm telling, I know these sound like really basic things, but somebody like myself who has excellent energy management and has been doing this for 20 years is getting thrown off kilter at this time. Yeah, I'm being honest. Like, I have to observe 101 at the moment, because the energies in the world are shifting and changing and upgrading. And I need to be able to go through that and hold space for others, hold classes like this. I was in the sauna before I jumped on here, showering, clearing my energy, grounding, being in my body, because we can be shifted. Oletha, is that right? Oletha?
Olitha, yes, hi.
Oletha, sorry about that.
Thank you for sharing. I think that's so important. I think that's like a nice reminder too. Like it's because I'm a licensed clinician here in the United States in Illinois, and I just faced burnout. Like I've been off work for 2.5 months, so I'm really happy to have joined. And I wanted to ask, like, can you like expand upon like the difference between like the compassion versus like the pity? Because I think that's how I ended up being burned out I couldn't quite figure out what I was doing trying to show up for someone else, and I burned myself out doing that.
Would you like me to is that a question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'll do it as best I can. What is really important for you is that as you interact with people, you're keeping an energetic boundary. So you're supporting them, but you're making sure that you are in your body and that your body is not like a sponge. My sense is around your body is that you have a very porous energy. So you're an empath. So as the people come in, you feel what's going on for them, and then you take it home with you. And it starts to build up in your energy field. So clearing your energy after each client. We have a process at the school called the gap process. And if you write into the school, it's called invincible energy. We'll send you invincible energy, which you can do. And that will really give you some basic how to ground, how to protect your energy, how to know your own energy, and then how to disconnect, cutting off from somebody else, allowing yourself to be separate from somebody else's energy. And it's vital. And as I said, I've been doing it for years, and at this time, my energy, the energies can be so strong. And as we upgrading our energy, because as healers and as light workers, and with our energy is upgrading, we're trying to shift that new upgrades that our energies are getting, and then still relate to denser energies in the world. So we're having to shift our vibration. The other thing is to keep a high vibration within you, so that it doesn't pick up the lower energies. And that takes quite a lot of practice. But actually now when I'm in a heavy, dense energy, I just raise my vibration and expand a little bit such that I don't catch the lower vibrations. Especially if I'm watching something on social media that I need to watch because I want to know what's going on in the world. But as I feel it affecting me, I just go raise that heart energy, and then I can receive the information. But also as I raise my energy, I then don't go into a judgment. I bring it into my heart and hold it there. And that sometimes is very difficult at the moment. I don't win when I'm going through certain things on Instagram just to get the news or whatever. Sometimes that doesn't work. But my intention is to get better at holding it in my space and in divine light, because as things happen, systems are breaking, and we've got to look forward to the systems that are keeping us small breaking. And so I hold the light in that. Anybody else got any questions before we end this evening? It's been fun. It's been experimental. We will do more of these. Has everyone enjoyed it? Yeah, something a bit different. Yeah, meeting and talking, not us talking all the time. We'll do some more like this. Rachel, you have something?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I've missed it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough. The question about as a healer, do you ever feel the need to uplift a client who's struggling? I mean, as a seeker, I don't. For me, I don't actually expect, as a seeker, for my healer to feel obligated to need to uplift me. It's nice that I might have a healer that might say nice, like hopeful, optimistic messages to me. That's just an added bonus. I'm not sure whether I've understood the question or whether I've missed some of the comments around that.
No, we didn't deal with it, and thank you for bringing it up, because I think it's such an important fact that we are not there. We can't make somebody else feel better. We can support them to be uplifted, but it is not our responsibility. We're there to hold space. We're there to channel healing. The intention is for us to support them, raise their vibration, but it's their responsibility to receive it. So healing is such an interesting energy, because it's about giving and receiving, and the healer will channel in a giving way of healing if we're doing energy healing. But if the person who is there to receive the healing is not ready to receive, that is how it is, and we can't force it. We can't go, receive this healing. Yeah? And we try. There are times, when it's like, just let's shift this density in the mental body. Let's get rid of the depression. Who the hell am I to do that? Let me just heal in that density for the highest good. Let me be the compassionate observer. That's my responsibility. And the client might not even know that it's their responsibility to heal, but they've come for healing. It will soften. I always say to people and to healers that you never know when the shift or the miracle happens. And somebody could come to you for 8 sessions, do that, not really feel anything, and they go and see their homeopath and they get, and the energy's been shifting, and there's one little thing that happens, and the next thing, this person does a major transformation. It could be something somebody says. So that's why healing is not about the results. It's about holding the space. And we do get results. We get fantastic results in sessions and working with people. And that's when the ego kicks in. That's when we want to drive it as healers. But we're actually here to hold the space. The transformation will come. I see Claire Ord smiling. I see people going, yeah, they know what I'm talking about, because sometimes it doesn't. Rachel, did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for that.
you. The Klapman's drama triangle, Peter, thank you. We actually have that in our notes. It's a great the persecutor, rescuer, and victim, and that goes on. And often as healers, that triangle is my life's journey. I want to fix everyone. Peter, you're muted. We can't hear you, Peter. Peter, we can't hear you.
So are you aware of A.C. Choi? Because she looks at the winner's triangle.
Yes.
Yes. So she would differentiate between being supportive versus rescuing, being assertive rather than persecuting, and accepting some people are not victims, they're simply vulnerable.
We actually do the winner's triangle in the healing course alongside the so thank you very much for bringing it, because as I said, my life's work, being clairvoyant, seeing, knowing, how do we hold that space, and how do we support the person to enable them to empower themselves, and that's what true healing is. Everybody, thank you very much. Those of you who are interested in the healing course, there'll be a link tomorrow. Please chat to us. We've got them starting online in Cape Town, in London. But thank you all so much for joining the conversation, for being part of my experiment tonight. We will do more masterclasses like that. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all very soon at the school. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.